Wow. And I'm very excited about this one because we're going to test out what this new flight experience is about. So test flight, we're going to go through a storm, see if there's any effects through that. We're going to go entry and re-entry of planets and moons. We're going to see if there's any difference in flight with that. But primarily I want to test atmospheric flight on this video. I think it's really important that there is a connection between you and your ship. It's primary importance to me on the top of the list. Besides this year, of course, server issues and AI are also at the top of my list. But this is one of those that is right up there for me. So I was really interested in seeing, like, hey, what has changed? Is it any better? Currently, I feel like I'm just a leaf in the wind, and not in the good Firefly sense of the way, for those that know that reference. Just there's no real actual physicality for me when I'm flying, and I want to see if there's a difference now in 3.10 as I'm testing in the first wave, and I want to bring you guys along. So let's check it out, guys.
You are clear to launch.
All right then, the takeoff. Let's see how much different it is. I love the new HUD. I love the new format of the HUD. You can see the altimeter. You can see the thrust power output, I believe. It does feel heavier. Oh, yeah, it feels a bit heavier. Oh, okay. There.
Thank you.
I don't know if that was just like an initial glitch, or let's do some more testing here. We're currently in hover mode. I really want to test the reactionary kind of influences on the outside environment and gravity. I'm feeling like it's heavier. It's much heavier. That I like. I'm gonna pitch forward. It's not reactionary in the sense of the pitch too much. I'm gonna try and tilt it. Pitching up. So not as reactionary as I had hoped in hover mode. I'm not dropping. I mean, people are saying, oh, you got the small thrusters and they're kind of helping you, and okay, yeah, I get it. You know, want a little bit of that easy mode and you can use that for an explanation. Okay, but it's not necessarily as reactionary as I was hoping for in hover mode. It does feel slower. I don't know how to describe it other than it feels heavier. You can see moving my limiter up really didn't do too much. I'm actually thrusting. I'm using the afterburn. You can hear the alarm as if the power consumption is like, whoa, hey, hold on. So it does feel harder to get a vertical lift up. Down, not so much as I was hoping for, since there is gravity. But you are, like, I'm noticing that it really is taking a longer time to hit to your limit. So now, let's see here. I do like the HUD. I do like the changes to the HUD. I think they did a good job with that. Oh, I got a warning near restricted area here. I'm taking the main thrusters and getting them out of hover mode here to see the movement forward still feels similar. Not feeling much of a difference, but yet I'm not really in any type of heavy storm right now. Yawing here. Slightly, it's heavy. It's heavier moving through the atmosphere, and Microtech has an actual gravity. Well, all planets and moons have gravity, but it's more of a normalized gravity of what we experience here on Earth. It's not dropping as I had hoped as much. I was hoping for more of a drop. The thrust they've done a good job with. It's slightly different. You're no longer just gliding and going everywhere, so that's good. Let's find a storm, shall we? Okay, I had to wait a while. The really cool thing about Star Citizen is that you have planets that are actually revolving, and you've got to wait for weather. So I've been waiting around for weather for quite a while. I went up to look for some clouds. Finally, this morning here, right about sunrise, and I see a pretty big size squall in front of us, and I can't wait to test this. Again, like I had mentioned before in the initial flight test, taking off in hover mode, it is very heavy, slower, but I do believe it's more from the ship design as far as the feeling. The flight experience that I'm getting feels more like it's coming from the ship and not from outside influences. So let's test this medium fighter in a very large size storm and see if we get any difference. I'm gonna keep the actual speed at a medium kind of level, right below where I would get into like a PvP confrontation, and I feel a little it still feels like the same that it did before I hit the weather, really. Like, I'm not really experiencing, like, you can see the winds are blowing very, very, very hard, and I'm not really experiencing any turbulence at all on this ship. Just want to kind of ride around here in this very, very heavy storm. There we go. All right, I gotta hit sections that have a little bit more brutality to them, so that I still have not experienced like turbulence. That's what I'm looking for. Some type of turbulence in this storm, and really nothing. No bouncing around. The environment itself not affecting the ship. I was hoping for more. But again, like, this is the very first implementation of these flight changes. It's beautiful. Wow. This is amazing. The sounds are great. Really in it now. I'm gonna go down a bit, see if there's any reactionary influences from the storm the closer I get to the floor. So I'm just gonna keep going down. I'm really searching for getting jarred around and beaten up by the weather, but I'm not feeling anything really. I'd really be reaching to say that I feel something different going through this storm. The lighting's fantastic. The new height map, I can really tell there's a lot more texturing, a lot more detail. So that's an upgrade. From what I'm seeing, all the trees and the mountains. I can tell there's a bit of a difference with the new height map added in 3.10. Very cool, but unfortunately, it looks like the verdict is in. With weather, I'm not really feeling any difference. All right, let's really open her up and do a little bit of flight maneuver testing on a planet to see if perhaps there's some reactionary effect with opening her up. So let's do it. We're gonna spin here. We're gonna see if there's any effect of gravity with a spin really close to the floor right now, just to see if we can see it on this plane. Yes. Okay, there's a slight pull down on the nose. That's nice. That was nice. I felt that. I felt a little tug down. So that's different. Interesting. Let's try the other way here so you guys can see if it in fact, yeah, it is pulling down a bit. Yep. Okay, that's positive. That makes me feel good. Now let's climb up and let's try an atmospheric entry effect from space down. Wow, I just love the looks and feels. All right, let's do it, guys. Let's climb up and let's have some fun. All right, and now, hey, let's do it. I'm very excited. So far, I'm a little bit underwhelmed by the changes, but again, like I said, this is like the initial change in 3.10. I think they're moving in the right direction. Let's see if there's any jittering or anything associated with entry, atmospheric entry when coming in from space down to the planet. Let's see if we get any jostling around. I'm expecting that we probably won't. You can see now on the port side and on the starboard side, I am hitting the atmosphere around 80,000 kilometers above the surface. This looks great. The VFX are amazing. The sound's pretty cool. Not as immersive as I was hoping for as far as the sounds, although, you know, I'm sure they can tweak that. But wow, that is pretty interesting right there. And that was it. Nothing. There was no, you know, I didn't get bumped around. You know, hey, it's okay. That's what do you expect at this point? Space flight is relatively the same as it used to be. I will get into confrontations and get into further deeper testing with actual space flight and maneuvering in space, but it feels relatively the same. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I had a great time testing this for you and showing off the new 3.10 flight changes. I'm intrigued. I'm happy in the direction that they are moving. I feel like all of the influence of flight comes directly from the ship and not from any outside influences in atmospheric flight. So I would like to see a little bit more effect in terms of like how the elements affect me, how gravity affects me, how the atmosphere affects me, the entry into the atmosphere, you know, the density, the gravity, all these things. I think I need to start feeling these outside influences. But as far as the changes that have happened at this point, it's strictly purely from the standpoint of flight changes in regards to the mechanics and designs in the ship. So from the in out is at least my overall critique, and I would like to see a little bit more of the outwardly influences hit to the inside. I think that would make it much more of an immersive experience. Guys, Patreons, members, people that subscribe and follow me, thank you so much for all of your support to the channel here. I hope this video helped you out and gives you a little bit of insight into what to expect when 3.10 actually hits live for everybody. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next vid or stream.